Well, good afternoon. You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEG Talk Radio. Click your live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV, YouTube at WCEG Network. I'm Celeste Giordano, your show host of Global Legacy and Wealth Building, and we're the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at WCEG _talk _radio and at WCEG Network. We also have some new platforms. Download our free mobile apps with Apple. We're on Apple TV, Roku TV, and last but not least, our disclaimer. The topics and opinions are those of the show host and guest and not WCEG Network. And thank you for your continued support. And I am so happy to be here with you today. And I want to thank WCEG Network, its boards, for the opportunity to have a platform to speak this life into the community with amazing guests like we have here today. And I'd like to welcome Jasna Dao. And Jasna, we are so glad to have you with us here today. And we're going to have a great show. And how are you?
I am wonderful, Celeste. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And where are you coming from today, Jasna?
I am coming from Cincinnati, Ohio, from my house. I am at home today.
Well, we are excited to have you. And this is going to be a great topic. And Deborah Fawaz was supposed to be one of our guests here today. And unfortunately, well, I should say unfortunately for us, but her husband had passed away in October. And Deborah her husband's being honored at Georgia State University as a doctor professor. And she is at that today. But I tell you what, we are excited to have you here today, and we've got a great show for our audience. And, I just would like to say before I read your bio, because I adore you, Jasna. When I first met you at a networking thing, which was Beautiful Faces Going Places, and you were doing video, and you came in there, and you had a couple of other people that were with you. And I just love the fact that you came in there and you came from the heart and started voluntarily doing some video for some of us. And it turned into a great business for you. You do an amazing job. I have some clients that do business with you as well as myself. And, you are just a natural. And I think last year I tried to get you on the show and our schedules just didn't line up. So I am very grateful and appreciative that you had the time, that you could be our guest here today, because you have a world of content. You have a lot of gold nuggets to share. And I just admire your entrepreneurship, your heart, your servant leadership, and everything that you stand for. So my heart loves your heart, and I am excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Celeste. I remember meeting you as well, actually, like the first time. Oh, and I remember you were actually at our networking event, and you were one of the speakers. And I remember I was doing the video, and when you started speaking, I was like, oh my gosh, this woman, she just has this captivating presence about her. And you had this really powerful presence of video. Like I almost woke up like, oh my goodness. So I just have to say, I love how powerful of a presence you have, especially when you're on stage and when you're speaking in front of a crowd.
Well, thank you so much, Jasna. I appreciate that. And that, that was one of the things that as I got to know you more, and I love the fact that Carol Dockham, she's been a guest on our show numerous times, and she started, I think you guys were doing coffee and connections or in the mornings or something like that. Maybe it turned into coffee and connections. But I remember after the meeting, I went up to Carol and I said, Carol, I said, you are missing the boat if you don't partner with Jasna and make her a sponsor or something in your events, because you two are like a 1-2 punch for the community. And I just love the fact that you two partner together, whether it's sponsorship, in-kind sponsorship, whatever it is, but you add so much value to the networking group. And for those of you that are hosting networking events now, if you do not have somebody in there with social media or with a video that's recording, you're really missing the boat, because that is such a key factor, and it's going to help your networking group grow. It's going to help your clients that are in there grow, because now you have connected your clients with somebody that is a master like Jasna is here today. And now they have a connection where they can utilize that group and utilize that service to grow their business. And you know what? Video is king. Visibility is king. And the person that has the most visibility is the one that's going to go and make the most impact and go further up the ladder. Do you agree, Jasna?
I agree, absolutely.
Well, very good. Well, for our audience sake, I would love to read your bio, because I love the history behind it and the story that comes with it. But Jasna Dao is a Bosnian American businesswoman, media personality, and brand specialist who immigrated to the United States as a teenager with her family. She is the CEO and founder of Dao Media Agency, a media company centered on helping entrepreneurs build their online presence and credibility with video and social media. On top of this, she is one of the brains behind the, I don't know if I can say this word right here, Cannibal Badol. How do you say that, Jasna?
Cannabidol.
There you go. Brand Dao Zen CBD, as
Dao,
well as,
it's Dao Zen CBD.
okay, excuse me, Dao Zen CBD, as well as Water X Pro, one of the nation's leading providers of water filtration systems. Having spent the last decade mastering the art of strategy and personal branding, Jasna Dao is more than ready to helping you grow your brand and business and online community. Her tagline is inspire, innovate, and impact. And her goal is to inspire others to innovate their brand and business so they can make an impact in the world. And I just love that. I just love the fact about your background. And I'm sure I'm going to ask you to tell a little bit about your story about coming from Bosnia. But I do want to share a quick story, and I think I've shared that with you before, is when I had my brick and mortar business. Every morning I used to, everybody knows I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I used to go to this Dunkin' Donuts down from my office and get coffee every morning. And there were two young Bosnian men that worked in there. They were friends. They were the most friendliest, kind, gentle young men. And every day I would go in there, and I always loved to do recruiting for my sales staff. Every week I would go to restaurants and places like that and just talk to people and ask them if they were making enough money, and if they weren't, would they be interested in an interview, because I'd love to interview them or have my recruiter trainer interview them. And so needless to say, I said, do you really like this job? And they said, no, we really don't, but it pays the bills. And I said, well, if you had an opportunity, you know, that you could make X amount of dollars and have an unlimited opportunity, would you be interested? They said, yes, ma'am. So I gave them a business card and told them to call my recruiter and trainer, and they showed up, and they were with me for a very, very long time, Jasna. They were hard workers, they were dedicated workers, and they were all about the opportunity. And they were phenomenal. They had open hearts, open minds. They wanted to learn, they wanted to grow, and then they went on, and life happens. But this was probably every bit of maybe 15, 18 years ago. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, because they were amazing young men. They caught my attention, just like you caught my attention. I mean, I just connected right away with you. So I just want you to tell us a little bit about where you come from and your backstory of how you are here today.
Yes. So I am originally from Bosnia, and Bosnia is in Europe. So I was born and raised there. And I was a really happy baby. I had a great family. My grandpa, he was a CEO of the oil company in our country, and he also was a pro athlete. He played a goal. He was a professional goalie for the soccer team for Yugoslavia.
Oh, wow.
So I had a really good upbringing, and by age 12 is when things changed because war broke out in our country and we had to immigrate from Bosnia to Germany. And so we moved on one suitcase to Germany and started all over. And we spent 7 years in Germany. And I went there to high school because all my teenager years, actually from 12 through 19, I was there. And eventually the Germans asked us to leave. They said, hey, the war is over. We need you to go back home. And we were like, oh my goodness, that's not the best idea to go back home. What can we do? And America said, come here. America is, land of opportunity. And because we were immigrants, they said we can have citizenship. So we were like, okay, this is great. So we came to America, and after a few years, I was able to earn my citizenship. And when I first came, I didn't speak any English or anything like that. And one of my first jobs was working at Wendy's, learning the language. And then I decided, what else can I do after I was working at a restaurant? I said, I think I can move up in the world if I work at the bank. So I started working for US Bank. And at the time, it was a completely different bank, the name. And then eventually we got bought out and it's US Bank now. But I spent about 10 years at US Bank. And after a couple of years, we got a new manager, and he was so much fun, and he was really fun to work with. And he said, hey, did you know you can make extra money earning bonus? And we were like, no, so he showed us how we can, sell, make money, earn bonus, and things like that. And once I learned that, I broke all the records. I became top salesperson nationwide, and I continued that for many years. And eventually, I ran out of space on my desk because I had so many trophies. And they built a big, like a glass cabinet for me so I can display all my trophies. And so I loved being there. And then after 10 years, I met my husband and we had this dream to work together. And we said, how can we start a business together, And so I said, let's find something that we can do. And what led us into finding water filtration. We felt like that was something we could be passionate about and that we could help people with. And it's water filtration for homes and businesses. So if someone needs a whole house filtration system or drinking water that's pure, that's what we do. And so we felt like that was something we could educate people about and really make a difference. And so that kind of became, actually, it's been 12 years now that we've had this company with water filtration. And then about 5 years ago, my husband and I, we started our CBD company, which is CBD oil and CBD salves, and it's called Dao Zen CBD, DaoZenCBD.com, and it's been a game changer. So it's last 5 years, we've been able to help our main people that we work with are chiropractors and holistic practitioners. That they really work well with us because our product is organic and really high quality, and we have no preservatives or anything in there that you wouldn't want. It's extremely high quality and clean and pure. And so all that story led me into Dao Media Agency. So, after doing all this, my friends started asking me, hey, can you help me? I need help with social media too. I need help. So eventually I thought, I should probably turn this into a media agency. And just at the same time, my mother-in-law, Deborah Englert, comes home from a conference and she says, Jasna, I think you should start a media agency. And I said, how did you know? I was just thinking the same. And she said, well, because you're already doing it. You're doing what media agencies are doing. And I was like, wow, okay. So that was my confirmation. And so about a year and a half ago, I started Dao Media Agency. And so I never have looked back since. So here I am today.
And here you are today. What a phenomenal story, Jasna. And I love the fact, I mean, you were giving me the calculating of the years and everything, and I'm saying, how could that be? I mean, you're like only like 25 or 26, right?
Not much. Well, about you, right? That's my age.
But I just love the fact, as because you're, being not that just from Bosnia, but like I said, the story that I shared, the land of opportunity. And here you are a perfect example of somebody who didn't care, what's the right word I'm looking for? In other words, you didn't have the pride that, okay, I'm going to start off at Wendy's. It was an opportunity, and you took advantage of that opportunity, and you were the best, I'm sure, Wendy's server that they ever had. And then you moved up into the baking industry, and I did not know that you were a top salesperson and did all the sales. And it's like, oh, now I got a whole new conversation that I want to have with you. So that is just a phenomenal backstory. And I love the fact that you have an amazing husband. You have an amazing mother-in-law. I know Deborah Englehart. And you guys are just a phenomenal team together. So, my hats are off to you and everything that you've done, the determination. And you are, the look of what people need to see today. That is not what you can do for me, it's what I can do for you. And that's what I see when I see you, is you are a servant leader, and you're always willing to help and serve, but you're an action taker. You're not sitting back waiting for things to happen. You are going to make things happen, Jasna, and you have always had that in you. And like you say, you're juggling 3 different businesses right now, and you're very successful at all 3 of them. You're constantly busy, you're constantly traveling, and you're living the good life. You're living the life of opportunity, and you put God first, then your family, and then your career. And that's what I love about you.
Yes.
So
thank you so much.
Absolutely. So what would you say are the 3 key elements for a successful social media presence?
So in order to have a successful social media presence and to help amplify your brand, I have found that there are 3 key elements that have worked for me and my clients. And number 1 is visibility. Number 2 is consistency. And number 3 is delegation. When you put visibility, consistency, and delegation together, this really helps amplify your brand all over your social media and all other channels.
Absolutely. So visibility, let's break that down into visibility.
So visibility is so important because people need to know that you exist, and
Yes.
people will meet you out. And you've always heard that saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Right.
It's kind of like that with social media. And so that's what I kind of help others do. And people make decisions based on your profile these days. And I know from personal experience that others have told me that they have hired me because my profile looked better than someone else's that they were looking at. So it is very important to be visible on social media and making sure that your social media profile and your description match, and that people can easily recognize what you do, or at least that they're curious enough to reach out and to ask if you can help them with your services. So you want to make sure that you know who you are, what you do, and who you serve. So those are the most important things to make sure that you have on your social media profiles, so that your target audience can instantly connect with you.
Absolutely. And also, because we have so many different platforms, Jasna, that they need to be consistent.
Yes.
So they have to be consistent across the board. So if I was to go to LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or any of those places, that I should see the same picture, and I should be able to see that you do the same thing, instead of wondering, what does this person do?
Exactly, exactly. And I think networking is key too. So for visibility, and networking is key because, you have your social media presence and then you go out there and you make connections. And so all that works together. So as they meet you and you're this wonderful person, and now they can see what you do online, now you have built trust and now they will more likely to hire you.
Absolutely. And being the business coach that I am, Jasna, I have to play off of this with this visibility, because I know that you're here as an expert in brand awareness as well as social media and video. And the other thing in visibility is people can't just see you on a social media post. They have to see visibility. They need to see you out networking. And you are who you are in your personal life as your business life. So what they see has to be the same thing that they see on social media. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
And so you do need to get out there, and you need to be networking and building your relationships with people for visibility, because that's going to drive people to some of your social media. Because what's one of the first things we do when we network? We meet somebody new, we're going to go look them up on LinkedIn or Instagram or somewhere and see what it says about them. And the other thing is, visibility is also about speaking. Speaking is one of the fastest paths to cash. And that's a great visibility, because now when you're speaking, whether at a networking event or at your own event, now the video comes in. And when you're being videoed, and now you can add that video to your social media, now that magnifies and impacts that visibility.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
So
And
go ahead. I'm trying to lead into you to say a few things about that.
yes, so I think, all that plays a crucial role, at least with visibility, trying to be consistent. And that kind of leads me into the next thing, um, being visible at least, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, being consistently visible to be on your client's mindset, so that you are here and there being noticed. Oh, that's right, she's still there. Oh, yes, I need to do that. So that's why social media is so important, because you're showing up to them and you're reminding them that, hello, I'm still here. And that's why it's so important to stay consistent, so that you're over and over again consistently showing up to someone.
Absolutely, yes. And visibility also. So, and visibility is also will give you credibility. Okay, with being visible. And one thing, when I started my consulting business 11 years ago, is I did a blog every single week. Now, I don't recommend that you have to do a blog every week, but I remember at the time that one of my admins say, blogs are history. Nobody's using blogs. Don't use blog, blah, 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 blah. Well, we all have a program that gives us our open rate and things of this nature. And week after week, because I have a blog that comes out every Thursday at 9:30 in the morning, and my open rate was always, 50, 60, 70%, where people were opening and reading it. And till this day, 11 years later, I still have a blog that comes out every Thursday at 9:30. And that's celestegiordano.com if you would like to register and get that weekly blog. But also, having a blog is visibility in your social media. And, from a social media standpoint and visibility, how can you utilize that blog consistently across social media?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. And, all that can be kind of tied in together and presented in a way that really helps drive traffic and drive your ideal clients.
Absolutely, because the reason that you're doing social media and you're doing visibility is you're not doing it just to post. You're doing it with an action item. You're wanting to guide these people to do something. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Providing value, tips, anything that, you can help clients, that's also too key to, you get them a nugget of wisdom or a tip on how to do something, if it's a real estate agent, a tip on how to move or things like that can really help to keep also your clients engaged.
Absolutely. So we have visibility, we have consistency, delegation. Tell us about delegation.
Now, one more thing about consistency, I wanted to tell a funny story. It was so my mother-in-law, Deborah, again, she eventually, so when she came back from that trip and said, you need to start the media agency, well, she also hired me. So she became my first client. And so I started doing social media for her regularly. And I was doing that for a few months. And, I wasn't thinking anything of it. And one day I hear her, because we share an office. So I hear her one day like, oh, I don't know what to do. She was a little frustrated. And I'm like, Deborah, what's going on? What's going on? And she says, oh my gosh, I have a waiting list. I have so many clients. I have a 6 to 8 week waiting list, and I have more people who want to get in, and I don't know what to do. And I said, well, what happened? How did you all of a sudden get so busy? And she said, well, social media, so you've been doing my social media, and so now all these people are coming. And so I was like, wow, well, what a great testimony in itself to know that it worked. It worked. It really helped her, and now she has been consistently booked more and more, and she's got a wait list. It's been now a couple of years.
Absolutely. And I love your mother-in-law, Deborah Englehart. And, I would love to give a plug for her real quick, like if you would like to give the name of her company and what she does, because she also works with wigs. And we have a lot of people that are cancer patients and lots of opportunity out there. So please give a plug in for her.
Yes, so Deborah Englert, Deborah Englert, Healthy Hair, Healthy Body, and so she's in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's a hair master designer, and she also helps others with wigs and hair toppers. If someone starts thinning hair, most of her clients do toppers because they're also easier to manage. And she's actually now in the process of writing a book, which I was going to mention in a little bit, that I'm helping her write and promote. And it's called Hair Pro Solutions, and it's for hairstylists and hair salon owners who are looking to improve their hairstyling skills and also their financial future. So
absolutely. And, that's where I watched you diligently, because you were doing the videos for her and they were being posted on Instagram and things of this nature. And again, if you're listening and you're a business entrepreneur, I can't tell you the importance of how important it is to have video, whether it be on your social media, it be on your website. You can put it in a newsletter with a link to a message. Video is really king, and it's also going to help with your SEO and things of this nature by having video with your rankings. Is that right?
That's correct. Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So is there anything else about consistency before we move to delegation?
I don't think so. I think we're ready to talk about delegation, which is my favorite.
Okay, let me hear it, please.
So to me, delegation is something that you want to delegate any possible task that you can, because if you don't, you won't be able to make most of the time. If you're spending time on tasks that are not income producing, then it's time to let that go. So are asking yourself, am I producing income with this task? If not, try to find someone to assist you. So that way, let someone else on your team do those tasks, or you can hire a virtual assistant if you don't have someone in-house to help you with those things. But it really is, what I always say is, if you're not making income with those tasks, let them go, let them be delegated, and make it part of your marketing cost.
Absolutely. And you're preaching to my heart right now, because with my clients, That's one of the things that I talk about most. And I know if you're a brand new entrepreneur just starting out, you're wearing many hats right now, and you're saying, I can't afford to delegate this and do that, and sometimes you do have to wear many hats in the beginning and do those things. But you do have to delegate because you need to do what you are a master at, what you do best. And that is building relationships and being out there and being visible, being in networking, speaking, building camaraderie with other organizations and how that you can work with other people. This is what you need to do. You need to delegate your social media. You need to have a virtual assistant. And one thing nice about the virtual assistants, it's not like they're working 40 hours. You can buy a time slot. You can buy, 5 hours a month, 10 hours a month. You can buy a slot with that. You can also with social media, and we'll talk about this in a minute, where, you have somebody else post it. I can't tell you how many times clients come to me and they're trying to do all this and they don't know how to do a social media post or this or that. And they're spending so much time reading, trying to figure it out, where an expert can do it in 2 or 5 minutes. And you can take that time and you could be over here at a networking event getting 3 or 4 leads that you can have some sales conversations that will eventually turn into sales that will pay for that person you delegated the business to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I have found, since I'm growing a team and I have more and more people working for me, it almost helps, it drives me more, because now I have someone that I almost feel responsible for bringing the business to help them make income. So now I'm driving more to be out there and bring business so that the people that work for me, I can help them pay them more as well. So the more business I can bring in, the more I can pay them, because they can do more work for me, and it works for everyone. So it really helps me to have that responsibility, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely, Jasna. You do have a sense of responsibility when you bring on a team member. And what I tell my clients is, you don't focus on what you're paying over here. In other words, we have people that are not good at time management, and those people that are not good at time management are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is doing income producing things, your return on your investments, and using your time wisely so you can afford the people over here on your team to do this. I mean, I have an admin person, a professional admin person. I have a social media. I have a video. I have a website. I have a whole team of people that work for me. Yeah. But, we have a contract and we work on these things. All I want to do is I want to be visible. I want to be visible where I am talking about opportunity, recognition. I'm talking about growing your business where you can learn, grow, achieve, and prosper so you can leave a legacy business. I want to do what I do best, and that's sales.
Yes, I love it. Exactly. Absolutely.
So anything else on delegation that you want to share about that?
No, I think that's it. I think delegation, just, think of it as part of marketing cost. One interesting story, like, let's say, I always tell my clients, let's say you are a real estate agent. If I can even help you bring 1 extra sale a year, that pays for your whole year of marketing cost. So for your social media. So that's kind of, how the delegation process, if you can justify it as that, like, if I can hire someone and then that will bring me extra next year, that's going to pay for that person too.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up real estate because we have 2 friends of ours that are very near and dear to our heart up in northern Kentucky. And they're doing video tips every week, for their real estate business. And then most people that about real estate companies, they have teams as well. They have a lot of people underneath them. They may be brokers and they have a lot of salespeople underneath them. But they're doing, tips about selling your home, tips about, buying a home. And, and it's all video because you're going to be drawn into somebody on video as opposed to seeing a still picture or reading about it. You can look at that person and you can say, I can relate to that person. Yes, I like what they're saying. And so it's so important that you put some type of video into your marketing campaign if you want to go to the next level. And
Yes.
you go. I have this saying: if you go through life casually, you become a casualty. And you can't go through life casually. Get out of your comfort zone. Video is not something that people are comfortable with. Yasna, you know me in the beginning. I was very uncomfortable in front of the video. And when you were videoing that, and I remember that was in December, because I was talking about how to finish strong in the fourth quarter. And I remember that you were doing that.
That's
And
it.
but you just sort of have to tune that out and just, do what you do best and let the video person do what they do best. And they can do so much editing and stuff that if you make a mistake, they can overcorrect it. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so I love the fact that, that you talked about that. And I saw a video that you did for a real estate lady, and, especially, and then I guess it's used for some marketing. It's on her website. She was walking down the steps and just, it was a power walk. She was powerful. I mean, that was the first thing that when I saw that, I said, that is a real estate agent you want. That is a confident individual that is going to have your back.
That's right. Yes, I agree. My client, Laura Zembrod, she's an amazing real estate agent. I highly recommend her.
Absolutely. So we were talking about the visibility. We were talking about, I'm trying to, consistency, delegation, and amplification. So what is the amplification?
So, basically, the more visible you are, the greater your chance for amplification. The more visible your content is, the potential to amplify your brand is bigger too. That's why it's so important to enhance your social media strategy by focusing on increasing your content's visibility.
Absolutely. And so what is your solution?
So my solution is, always, in order to be visible, and you can do either, yourself, as we talked. If you're not an expert at it, it could take you a long time, or you can hire someone to help you, someone like me, to help you with your social media presence. And we offer high quality social media content for your business, and we also can post it to your channel after your approval. And what we do, we craft effectively your custom graphics with engaging captions and hashtags, so you can focus on what you do best while we handle the rest. And what we usually do, one of our most popular packages right now is a 30-day of content. So you get 30 graphics, 30 days of graphics, social media graphics, which can be then posted to your channel. And so you can either post, every day, which would give you 30 days of content, or you can post every other day. That stretches your content to 2 months. If you post 3 times a week, now it makes your content 10 weeks long. And so then after 10 weeks, you can again reorder and get another 30 days and post at least 2 to 3 times a week to help you with that consistency.
Absolutely. So let me ask you something. So if somebody has a website, let's say that we have some people that are wanting to refresh, because I have some clients right now that a lot of them are doing some refresh, including myself, on our website. So if you wanted to add video to a refresh of your website, what are some of the ideas that would you recommend for video for a website?
So usually what we do is like a welcome website video. Some clients will do like 3, one can be like welcome and introducing them to you and your business. And then, the other 2 could be about the services that you provide and maybe demonstrating your services or products. things like that. But, a welcome website video is really at least one that most of my clients get, which it helps, again, the personal touch. Someone gets to know you better.
Absolutely. So here's another idea for those of you out there that are looking to refresh your website. Maybe you're looking to refresh your weekly blogs. The other thing is that testimonials, getting video testimonials, that is huge.
Yes.
Where would somebody use video testimonials?
So video testimonials can be used online, like on your website, on your YouTube channel, on all your social media channels. I mean, really everywhere that, after an event, I usually will have some video testimonies and I'll post it in one of the groups, depending on what group and what event it was, and things like that. After our retreat last year, all our attendees, we did a testimony of each attendee and I posted it on YouTube so that everyone can see what kind of experience they had on our retreat.
Absolutely. And if you're not getting video testimonials, you're really missing the boat there, because those are very powerful. Like you said, they can be used on your website. They can be used on YouTube. You could also use a testimonial in a blog weekly, that you do an article or something. And by the way, click this link here to see this testimonial or whatever. So it's huge. And so that's another thing that you need to be compiling. You can also get written testimonials, but I'm telling you, if you have an opportunity to get video, that is huge. One of the other things that I wanted to bring up, is that we talked about a refresh of a blog using video. We talked about testimonials. You mentioned a welcome video, and I think you just recently did something like that with a mutual friend of ours, that you did that. And for those of you that belong to these high-level networking groups, and where a lot of times you can put a video out there of introducing yourself, and that people can click that. And that's huge, because when people are seeing a video and having you talk, they can relate to that, as opposed to just reading, this person does this. Okay, but now I saw you in action, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So what other services do you offer besides social media and graphic design?
So I do video is one of the things that that I offer. So that can be welcome website video that we mentioned. Also, we do talking head videos. That's what we call them. So, you usually see them on Instagram. They're shorter. They're usually 30 to 60 seconds, and they're fun. They're quick. And I also do, I can help with an online course that is much more intense, but that's something that we can do if someone wanted to record their online course. I have done that many times before as well.
Absolutely. And so one thing about what you just shared right there, like the reels and things of this nature, you do go out to people's offices if they have a brick and mortar business, or you have a location where people can get these videos. Sometimes you want to, I don't know where that was at, that the real estate lady where you did that, but was that at her office, or was that just a location where she walked down those stairs? That was such a powerful video, Jasna.
Well, actually, that is one of my studios. That's where where I shoot. It's actually where I live. It's my building that we live in, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm able to use it, and I'm able to shoot my clients there. If they don't have like their own personal office that I go to, then they can come to me, or we can go meet on a location. It just depends on what they need for their videos.
Absolutely. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you, would you verbally, I know that we're posting, this is a live Zoom, but would you tell our audience how they can get a hold of you if they wanted to reach out to you and have a conversation? I'm sure you would have a conversation with somebody. So
Yes.
how would they get a hold of you?
I would say on Instagram, message me on Instagram or email me at support@jasnadao.com.
And your website again is?
Jasnadao.com, and it is in the notes here. So if you read the notes, and I can put my email as well, support@jasnadao.com.
Absolutely. And I believe you have some upcoming events coming up.
Yes, I do. We have so many wonderful and exciting events. And one of them is our Lunch and Learn, and it is tomorrow. And you have mentioned Carol Dockham. She actually is the CEO and founder of Beautiful Faces Going Places. And she's a wonderful, wonderful person. And we have been collaborating on many projects. And so she's just amazing. If you're looking for a networking group, this is the networking group to join. And tomorrow she's hosting a Lunch and Learn. And we have a speaker panel that we will have, and then she always has prizes and giveaways, and we get to all introduce ourselves and tell everyone what we do. So it's very interactive, and you get a chance to speak if you're at one of her events, if you're at one of her events. Then another event that me and her are collaborating on is our advanced ChatGPT workshop. And that is May 15th from 11 to 2. And it is together with me and Carol Dockham and Michael J. Pope Jr. And he's the coach's tech guy. He's really, really good with technology. He knows AI, he knows Canva, anything that you need. So we are hosting a ChatGPT workshop together. So if you're looking to take your social media content to the next level and you want to learn how to write social media content, how to write emails, blog posts, Google reviews, and so much more, then this is the workshop to attend.
So my question, I don't mean to interrupt you, but my question is, you're in Cincinnati, our audience is an international audience. Is any of this available through a Zoom or anything like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, we have virtual tickets for the Lunch and Learn and for the advanced ChatGPT workshop. Yes, we do have Zoom live virtual. And I think actually the ChatGPT workshop, you get a little discount if you are virtual versus in person. But of course, it's much better in person because you get to interact in person.
Right, absolutely. Okay, well, very good.
But, our audience is also out of town, so they get a chance to at least Zoom in and be part of it.
And for the audience out there, if you're an entrepreneur, corporation, or a business, we do need to invest in ourselves, and especially as an entrepreneur more so. These are great opportunities that you need to invest in yourself, because when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting out, or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, this is where my tagline, learn, grow, achieve, and prosper. You're learning. And if you're not learning, then you're not growing.
Exactly.
So it's important that you invest in yourself and you learn. And again, we still want you to delegate, but may not be your wheelhouse right there. And hopefully it's not that you hire that, but you need to know a little bit knowledge about it so you can have that conversation with the person you're delegating it to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
And I believe you also do once or twice a year, you do a retreat. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. And actually, before our retreat in September, we have in July, we are doing a tour. For Carol Dockham, her idea was to do a LeBlanc tour. So in July 10th, I believe, it's a Wednesday, we will have an event here in Cincinnati. And then the following Wednesday, we're going to go to Louisville or Lexington. We're securing still the spot. And we're going to take like a road trip with girlfriends, and we're going to do like a LeBlanc event where we're all dressed up in white, and we do a happy hour meetup and then a really nice dinner after. And that's been one of our successful events. It's completely free. And last year, over 75 people came for our July event. So this year, we're like, let's go out of town. And so we're going to be also going to Columbus or Louisville or Lexington. So we're still securing. So we have 3 events in July for the LeBlanc event.
Absolutely. And I was a part of that LeBlanc event, and I was totally blown away by it. It was so nice to see everybody dressed in white, networking. It was like a happy hour type thing in the evening. And
Summer. Yeah, it was like a summer night.
And it is. And then again, if you're growing your business, these are some of the things that you want to do. And maybe you're thinking that you want to have your own event. This is a great opportunity to do this. We're getting into summer, and when school gets out, to have a LeBlanc event. Have an event where you invite some people to it and get to know these people a little bit better, and get them to bring a friend. If you have 10 people that bring a friend, now you have 20. If you have 20 people that bring a friend, now you have 40.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in case you're wondering how to stay up to date on our events, we have a Facebook group called Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network that you can join, and then you can see us there posting, and then we're always promoting future events that are coming up.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead.
So then in September, Carol and we co-hosted together before Naples, Florida retreat event. And that was such a success that we're doing it again. And it is in September from 26th through the 30th. And it is an absolutely incredible experience in Naples, Florida. We get a luxury villa, and we do all kinds of amazing things like a mastermind and spending time together, because it's very private and intimate being together with everyone in the house. And when we arrive, we usually get a welcome reception, like a bubbly bar, champagne welcome reception. And we also have a LeBlanc event in Naples. While there, we do a white party, and we go to Ritz-Carlton and we do a happy hour. And after that, we go to a really nice dinner on 5th Avenue. And we have also another really amazing restaurant that we go to. And then grand finale dinner is the last night, and we have a private chef cooking for us. And it's just an absolute unforgettable experience with music and just such wonderful girlfriends time, and also networking and collaborating with others.
Absolutely. And for our audience and our listeners, again, it's important that you invest in yourself. And yes, these guys have elevated this to a world-class network or world-class event that they've done. But they're also, like Jasna says, we're collaborating. We're getting together where we can help each other grow their business. And you may have somebody in there that offers social media or branding or marketing. You may have another person that offers sales. You may have another person over there that is offering whatever, public speaking. There's just so many things that you can collaborate together. And again, it's where you get away and you're not working on your business, but you're working in your business.
Exactly.
And that's what, or excuse me, you're not working in your business, you're working on your business, is what I meant to say, because you have to step away from your business and get a bigger picture, Absolutely. And a lot of times I say, think, act, get big. Well, in order to think, act, and get big, you have to step away and look at the big picture and what do you want? And you can't do this on your own. I always say, 2 hands make more noise than one. And you need to collaborate with other people. You need to invest in yourself, and you need to get with the shakers and the movers. Okay, it's so important, because if you stay down here in mediocrity, guess what? You're going to be mediocre. You got to get with the action takers, the shakers and the movers that are doing what you want to do. Don't wait till you get to that point. You need to make that decision. You're going to be there and get involved with them. Anything you'd like to add before we close, Jasna?
No, I think I just had thank you for having me. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Well, thank you for joining us. And I want to thank WCEG Network. for this wonderful opportunity that we get to have an opportunity to present people like Jasna to you, that has come from Bosnia, that's come to the land of opportunity, and who is doing amazing things in her life as well as her community. She's a servant heart leader, doing for others. And you know what? That's what life is really about. It's not what you can do for me, it's what I can do for you. And you have a servant heart leadership thing about you. And I just love that about you. And I wish you the wonderful and blessed week. I wish you great success. I look forward to seeing you later this month in Cincinnati at an event. And for our audience, please look up Jasna, for give them your website or your information where they can go to you one more time, Jasna, please.
My website is jasnadao.com, and that's spelled with a J. So JASNA Dao.com. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And also DaoMediaAgency.com. I also have a Facebook group that you can join called Dao Media Agency, and an Instagram page called Dao Media Agency.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. I'm Celeste Giordano, your show host, and this is WCEG Network. And we wish you a wonderful and blessed week. And thank you again for being our guest tonight. Have a wonderful day.